I knew a guy who was doing very well. And he's an engineer, right? But previously in his life, women did not, he was still thin. He hadn't filled out yet. He didn't have muscles or anything like that. When he was younger, he got turned down, right? And then he became a mechanical engineer, got a really good job in the oil business, making six figures, doing very well, travels around the country, especially Alaska, Texas, and those oil rich places, makes a lot of money. And he's still very sour, right? And he's sour because he talks about those chicks who he tried to holler at and how they didn't want him. And he finds himself in relationships with women that look like that, the Kim Kardashian wanna-look-alikes kind of chicks, the big fake booties or whatever, the kind of like Insta thoughts, and he goes for chicks like that, and it always turns out a disaster. It always turns out, some girl ran his credit card up to like $5,000. He finds chicks that he moves them in, they steal, or he finds out they're cheating on somebody. They're using his money to give to another guy, and it's always their fault, right? And it happens amongst different races of women. It's not like he just dates black chicks. I mean, he likes black chicks, but chicks that are Latino, whatever, Dominican. This is something that is redundant with him. And really what he's chasing after are the women who rejected him. Not the same exact women that rejected him, but he's chasing after the same type of women that rejected him. But he finds himself in these same problems. And this is the black man's burden, to not know what type of people or women should be around him after he has become successful. It's still hard to figure out because you're going from what you know that you like to having a balance of what you know that you should need. All right? Or not that you need, but what is better to be around you. And this happens, man. I've experienced this myself since I've been on the continent. A few times, I'm always, y'all know what I like. Y'all seen the Miss Curvy videos, but the chicks that I typically like physically aren't, when you pick them based on that, these are the same type of chicks, I've always liked and had problems with, right? And now I know that about myself. I don't go for that, anymore. But we do that, and pretty much what we're trying to do is we're trying to get somebody that we don't need. Instead of leaving the chicks that turned us down or the type of chicks that turned us down alone. See, we're kind of hypocritical because we can talk about black women and they keep getting involved with Pookies and Ray Rays. They keep getting involved with the thugs. They keep getting involved with niggas who don't mean them well. And then a lot of times we go back and turn around and get back with the same type of chicks that we can never get along with. Look at Reggie Bush. He had with Kim Kardashian. And then he left Kim Kardashian and got with another chick that looked just like Kim Kardashian. Right? You just going for a style. You know what I'm saying? And you're really not looking at, okay, is this woman for me, right? And, Phil from the African diaspora, he said something very, very important one day. He said, a lot of brothers are always trying to compete for Pookie's and Ray Ray's women. And what we don't know is some women are for Pookie and Ray Ray. No matter how good they look, okay? You could sit around and be like, I can't believe, why is she with him? Like Lori Harvey, right? Like Lori Harvey to me is good looking. Like, why is she with Future? Like, why is she? You always say that, but to be honest, that's who she's for. She's not for a guy that is, maybe a brother like you, maybe a brother like, whatever. And not to say that she don't have the potential, but that's just not who she's for. she is a chick that is qualified to be with a kind of guy like a Future, a nigga like that. And yet, we as black men, because, all right, we have the influence, we have some money now, we can be in the circles, we can easily maneuver, we can get the chicks that we're attracted to, but it's always not a good look, And so then you keep going through the same situations. And then what that contributes to is just like being bitter. Like there's a guy I know, he always loved strippers. Lost a lot of money to strippers, move him in his house. It's all he dates. He dates nothing but strippers. I mean, I guess the sex is good and everything like that. But the same problems he always has. And really, he's not going to be happy with somebody like that. And I think what we start to look at is compatibility in one's life, right? Compatibility as far as the friends you're around. Okay, are these people compatibility with what I'm doing? Like, I'm a brother, I'm an engineer, I'm a business owner, I want to be in tech, I want to do this, I want to do that. Are my friends in line with what I'm trying to do? Are they aligned with what I'm doing? Are the women that I'm trying to talk to, by any means, are they aligned, at least in the same kind of social circle as what I'm doing? If the answer is no, then now I gotta look at it and say, she's not for me. Much as I like her, much as I enjoy spending time with her, much as, like whenever I'm with her, I'm having a blast. The booty is good, all that. But it's just like we're not the same people. She's for somebody else. And we think about it, a person that's not in your network can never really appreciate you like somebody in it. Meaning if the person has not achieved what you have achieved or on the same level of you, there's no way they can appreciate what you do. They have no idea. It's just like, they would discover an oil well. They wouldn't know what to do with it. Like, what is this? They don't know. They don't know how to value a person who is not around you or in the same vicinity. For the most part, they can't appreciate the kind of person you are, right? They can't. They don't really know how much value that you add to the table. So they can be around you and they can't appreciate it because they just don't know. So, a lot of guys are still chasing women that have turned them down. And I think that probably needs to stop. So, guys, always remember that. Change it up. It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson. Hit the bell, subscribe. Do all of that. Check out my first comment pinned to the top. As you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. You can get the Patreon. Also, your Black Men Are Perfect t-shirts by Teespring store. We're out. Peace.